I tell you what, we have got so much of excitement. Not only do we have rugby that's on the cards, a match that's brewing as the Boks are getting ready, our beloved Boks getting ready to take on the French. And where Kate Nokwe is right now, there's not a French beret in sight because she's got a special guest with her. There's a special story that is brewing, and we've got a Lions bowler. We're not going to reveal the name just yet, but that's a special guest amongst the many fans who are out there in a sea of green and gold that's out there as the countdown has begun. The Boks are getting ready in their change rooms for this kickoff that's at 9 p.m. They're taking on the French right there in their own backyard. Will the French be able to come out and go le bleu all the way, or will it be fait accompli when it comes to the defending champions, the Springboks? Well, enough from me. Let's go and unveil that special story we brought to you. It's the Lions Bowler Ayavuya Myoli. She's there with Kate. Kate, as always, excitement everywhere you go.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I know you say we are in our green and gold, but I think Ayavuya missed the memo tonight that we are celebrating the Springboks. He's in black. I don't know what he's mourning because it's a good day today to be South African as we build up to that big match. The Springboks up against France, world champions up against a host nation. But before we get there, though, that's not the only World Cup that we are focusing on tonight on Sports Live. Of course, we're always focusing on all our athletes in the country. And this evening, well, at least right now, let's chat about the Proteas who are down in India doing the business for South Africa. I saw a couple of tweets, Zai already saying that they are envisioning a Themba Bavuma, Siya Kolisi bus tour around the country. But before we get that excitement going, let's talk to Ayavuya Myoli, as you mentioned. He's a Lions bowler. Let's chat about the Proteas right now going into the World Cup against, well, in India, that is. That series against Australia, they didn't start well, but they definitely finished well.
Yeah, man. I think before they played against Australia, they had a long break and they haven't played any games in terms of they've been doing a pre-season training in Durban, and they moved to Durban. They had a pre-season game, internal game, and against internal game and in Tugs. They were playing against each other. So that was the first time they were playing a game against Australia where they lost 2-0. The first two games they went down 2-0, the series that were playing, and then they came back and they won 3-0 where they started clicking and playing as a team.
Yeah, how key is that? Because, you know, you talk about how they lost first, you know, the T20 didn't go their way, pardon me, but then the ODI, they lost the first two matches, but then they won the last three. Going to a tournament like a World Cup, how key is it to peak at the right time?
I think for them losing 2-0 and fighting all the way back and winning the whole series 3-0, that was a big statement saying that the guys are clicked and they're ready for the World Cup. And you look at the team in terms of experience. There's a lot of experience that they have in that team. Look at the guys. There are over 6 guys that have played in India in the IPL. Like in terms of Tahiso Rabades, Themba hasn't played the IPL. With David Miller's, your Aiden Markram. So like we have like 6 guys that have already played in India and they know the conditions and they played in the IPL.
Yeah, I mean, when you speak about the IPL on its own, a lot of these nations do have a number of players playing the IPL. How much is that playing into India's hand? Because now you look at India, they're not as lethal. Perhaps one could think they're not as lethal as they used to be, or perhaps even though that they are, a lot of the nations are used to those conditions as well, making India not a threat anymore.
Yeah, I think in terms of cricket, conditions matter a lot. So whenever you play in a different condition, you kind of understand what you expect. The conditions in terms of your bowler, you know what to do in terms of what to bowl at any certain stage. Even as a batsman, you know what to expect. I think the IPL has changed the game. People say that in T20 cricket, but also it's been giving a lot of opportunities for guys in South Africa to play abroad and understand conditions and understand how to play and adapt into the country.
Yeah, considering Australia didn't start well, India didn't start, England also didn't start well. How much of the Proteas now finally, who started probably under the radar, they went to the tournament, no one was looking at them, the way that they've started, have they changed the conversation around them now?
I think we've got a very solid team as South Africa. Because we check guys that have played there. Most of them, as I said, they played in the IPL. And the guys, the first time that South Africa has won a World Cup was the Under-19 World Cup. We've got quite a few guys that played in the Under-19 World Cup. Aiden Makram, Okagiso, and they won the World Cup in Dubai in a few years back, as they were under 19 years. So now they moved to the Pro Tiers, so they kind of understand. They're competing with the guys that they played with under 19, and they won the cup. So I think for them, they have to just prove it again, and which I feel that they can do and take it all the way as a country.
In previous tournaments, South Africa has relied heavily on their bowlers, but the two games that we've seen with South Africa already, we can see how our batsmen have to step up the plate. How key is that? Because now you get especially in the second match, you get our bowlers who can finish off games, but you have your batsmen who went into the tournament. Probably now is the most together squad we've seen South Africa produce in a very long time.
Yeah, man, I think our batting lineup, we're very strong on our batting lineup. And we had like 3 or 4 guys ticking, have clicked. If we can have like 3 or 4 or all those guys ticking in one game, I think we'll get scores of 400 and 300 runs. You have your Rasif on the Jusen there, you have your Quentin de Kock, you have your Temba. He hasn't clicked yet, but you can see the signs, and he's been showing the signs. And then you have your David Miller, and I think if everyone clicks, I think no one can defeat that whole team.
Yeah, we're going to the World Cup. There was obviously the loss of Kate Nokwe was a big one in terms of the bowlers. But the step up, Kagiso Rabada doesn't generally have a good tournament when it comes to World Cups, World tournaments, but he's stepping up to the plate. So looking at the overall squad, though, are you any concerned about missing Kate there?
No, I think we've got the likes of Lungi Gidi. Lungi Gidi has been in 3 IPL tournaments, and he's still a youngster to say. In terms of his experience, he hasn't really hit 30 years old. You've got Kagiso Rabada. You've got a quick Gerald Coetzee who also wants to show himself into the world that he's the first bowler in this country. And as you know, South Africa has produced a lot of fast bowlers.
Yeah.
So I think Keshav Maharaj, Shamsi, I think we've got everything in the team that can take us all the way. I think we just have to believe in the team. And I think the guys got a good spirit and they want to take it the whole way.
Yeah, let's talk about the women now. They just concluded their series with New Zealand, winning the ODI but drawing the T20. What's going on? Where's women's cricket in South Africa? Do you believe?
Women's cricket, I think the Pro Tiers are under pressure, the men's side, because we hosted the World Cup here in South Africa, and they took it all the way. And it's the first time where they've been brought into that exposure, and they've done very well in terms of. And now women's cricket is kind of developing now. Look at the franchise setup.
Yes.
Now they've taken that professionalism, and they've got sports coaches that are getting paid, and the women are getting paid. The salaries are better. So I think women's cricket is on the rise in South Africa, and it's something that we've been waiting for a very long time. And they're standing up into the plate, and they've just won against Pakistan, and just tied against New Zealand.
Yeah, well, thank you, Ayavuya Myoli, Lions Bowler. That's all the time we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for your insight. He does mention there that the Pro Tiers, the men's that is, they're under pressure because we know our women have already gone to a final. So the ball is in your court, Temba Bavuma, and your men. Stay right here with us on SABC's News. We'll take a short break. Sports Live. We'll be back after these.